move. He's got the bounce. He's heading it off his own. He leads the charge. That's so dumb. He hits it up into the grandstand. And New Zealand are in the World Cup final.
Yeah, the boys. What's up?
Going on, fellas?
Sam, you made it today.
Yeah.
Explain yourself, brother.
Oh, sorry, boys. That was a long weekend here last week, so I just went away and sort of forgot it was the Monday there. And then I think what you guys have to realise also is that I'm 2 hours behind, so my bracket's sort of a little bit different to you guys. Like, you guys are nice
Excuses, bro.
cozy,
Yeah.
7:30, 8:30, parked up. I'm sort of 5 to 7, which is prime time, like your dinner time. Lots of things going on, so I don't think I have too much explaining to do. I'm sorry, but I'm here now.
Nothing to do with the missus.
Absolutely not. No.
At least isn't getting tighter.
No.
Well, shall we get her on the podcast and ask her that?
Oh,
Get her on.
now if you want.
Nah, how you been, bro? How's it over there in Melbs?
Yeah, it's good, bro. Just settling in, still trying to find some mahi. Things are slowly getting back to normal. I think bars are open for beers this week, so that's always good, and looking forward to get in for a few frothies.
Yeah, nah, too much, brother. Oh, well, you're out of the way. Next one down the chain, Mr. Goldsmith. Hope you're well. I'm sure that you knew that the Chiefs actually lost on the weekend, so I'd like you to give myself and every other Highlanders fan out there a formal apologise for telling us that the Chiefs were in every single multi of yours.
Well, to be fair, I'm feeling pretty sorry for myself because they were in every single multi, and I lost plenty of money on them too. I did all right the night before, but I think I lost about 200 on that game. So yeah, not only will I apologise to you, but I'll apologise to myself and everybody else that I told to bet on the Chiefs. I don't know what happened. That drop kick broke me too. Couldn't believe it.
I thought we were on when Mackenzie slotted his. I was just like, yes,
Me
that's what I've
too.
been waiting for the whole game.
Bro,
Back down
straight up.
I didn't even wait for 80 minutes.
when he slotted that, I just started swearing, like, fuck you. Like, hitting that. And then as soon as we went down and did that, I was like, yeah, mean as, hit that drop good. That's all good. Double standard, eh?
Bro. We got the voice messages. I couldn't open them up around my family because I knew it was just going to be abuse or just chronic, like a verbal abuse.
Just straight abuse, bro. Straight abuse.
Yeah.
Your whole neighbourhood would have heard the Landers one, I reckon, Shannon.
Oh, we're like in like an area where there's like heaps of houses around now. Pretty sure the neighbours hate me already, eh? The guy from like across the drive, he came home one day and he was like, oh yeah, I heard you swearing at the TV. And he was like, oh, I seen the time, so I was like, oh, it must have been sport. I was like, nah, it was. But before we talk some rugby,
Soundproof, bro.
What's that, bro?
You need to get that garage soundproof.
Yeah, cuzzy. But before we smash out some more rugby, the league. What is up with our Warriors? Straight up, we go from like one of the worst performances to a half the year's performance. Like Peter Hiku sums up the Warriors. Listen, I don't even know what he is doing. But he does that, bro. And then he drops a hat trick.
I know that when he let that one go, I was thinking in my head, it didn't even look like going dead either. I don't know what he was thinking. And then, of course, me being me, I start grabbing the pillow, start hitting the couch and thinking, nah, I'm not going to be going through this again. And then Peter Hiku turns it around. What a game. Peter Hiku was part of the day for me. What a beast to come back like that. That was awesome.
I don't know. The boys, they just, once they got that momentum again, they started, Nicodemus started running. And, bro, how good does it... Bro, he just looks good when he runs, bro. Like,
Why doesn't he do it more often, though? That's what we said on the podcast last week. Well, like, he needs to take the line on. What's he doing? It's rocks and diamonds.
Bro, like, Ramsey, we say that. We've said it about Sean Johnson before. So what is it with Warriors halves, and 1 week they're taking the line on and 1 week they're not?
Well, I think Blake Green should take a bit of ownership on that as well. He's got to be playing his role to a T for Cody to sort of be running off the back of that. But I think
Blake Green's 40 years old. Sorry, 400 years old.
Get rid of him.
He hasn't ran in the line once.
Yeah.
It was like
bro.
It was like, because his kicking game was actually all right on the weekend, so it was like, man,
yes.
I can't really grill him.
One kick out of 100, bro.
But as Warriors fans, we only need that one moment, and then we're like, yeah, it's our year, baby, 2020. Fuck the grand final
What it is good to see, though, what it is good to see is that the boys are like finishing games off. They're not letting teams sort of creep back in and then give us that fucking like roller coaster heart attack finish, which they do pretty much every win we like get. It's good to see them like putting teams away and getting like finishing games off.
Bro, I was still worried that they were going to lose that game. I was still worried.
Even with that 1 point, but it just wasn't showing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, if anything could go wrong, it would go wrong. You know what I mean? I was thinking, we've played well enough.
Because straight up, obviously Stephen Kearney's trying to bring in how we're completing more sets in that. And I'm all good for that when we're bringing that attack and or when we're getting over the advantage line, or we're actually creating something from that. It's when we're just completing sets for the sake of completing sets. That's like one of our problems.
I had the exact same issue. It's like he loves that stat and he just wants that to be extremely high. But you've still got to fire a shot. And that's what I liked about Nikodima, because he was taking the line on. He was actually trying. He actually probably should have scored that one that he dished off the cutoff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got himself. Yeah.
Because who were the other standouts for you? Because I had obviously Qatar, Tanua Brown again. He was the man. So it's awesome to see those young boys stepping up. He's in my fantasy team, 52. Still got peeled out because I had Kalen Ponga recovered from 11 at halftime to at least get 50 saying, but it was bro, I got peeled out and I lost to Dylan Bennett. For anyone that doesn't know Dylan Bennett, man, it's not saying to be proud of.
You don't want to lose to in fantasy.
The last guy you want to lose to. But to be fair, I'm 0-2 in fantasy as well. I'm terrible at it this year. So I've got the trade all day coming into force this week. I'm trading every week to win a game, eh?
I'm top 500, boys. But anyway, moving on. How are we going to go this week against the resurgent Rabbitohs and Latrell Mitchell?
Tough. It's going to be tough. Yeah, Mitchell's. Yeah, as you just said, Mitchell's coming up big. They just got Cody back, and I reckon Adam Reynolds plays better when Cody's there. You know what I mean? They just seem to mesh real well. Who else? They got back someone else. I can't remember who, but they look dangerous in the weekend. Shit, they look good. It was just the Titans, though, so I don't know. You take it with a grain of salt.
And, as much as I don't like saying this, because I like beating my kids and everything, even though I'm 30 and they're 5 years old.
You say you like beating your kids, Shannon?
Oh, not beating. Not.
You can't say that. You cannot say that in 2020, mate. And just in case anyone is actually listening, we don't condone that here on around the bar.
Sorry, I'll rephrase that. I like beating them at games. Whether we're play wrestling in there, I don't let them win because teach them from a young age. But as much as I hate losing, I don't mind if we lose this weekend to the Rabbitohs, but it's just the way we lose. Because when the Warriors lose, they don't seem to lose good. For example, the Chiefs didn't play amazing in the weekend, but they could still take so much out of their performance to be happy with it, even though they lost. Even the Hurricanes as well, I feel. But it's with the Warriors, how many times can you say after we've lost that we were a chance of winning, but we just weren't the better team on the day.
Never. That never happens. Because we usually, if we lose, we don't score a point.
What do you reckon, Ramsey? Like, it's just weird when we lose so bad. It's frustrating. Like, literally, you just want to smash your TV.
With the way things are trending at the moment with the new rules and that, we're seeing a lot more blowouts and like teams sort of struggling to get back into matches, and yeah, that's just notoriously what the Warriors are not good at.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to get a bit of heat for this. It was actually all right today when I posted, but we all know that Teddy carved up last night, and I'm going to say, I don't hate the dude. I'm not really a hater, you know, but I just feel that everyone's like, this is James Tedesco, this is space, here's the earth, there's a bit of space again, and then there's everyone else.
Because that's the way it is, bro.
Nah,
that's the way it is. He is by far and away the best player in the game at the moment.
I can agree with that. I just feel
what are you
that...
upset about?
Because
what are you upset about? People praising him because he's an absolute beast. Do you watch the game? Did you watch him?
Nah, I didn't.
Every time he touches the ball, it's like he's got spiders on his back. They can't touch him. He's unbelievable. And yeah, I get it. Roosters are good, back-to-back, blah, blah, blah. If RGS there, yeah, he could do it. But the thing is, he is there and he is doing it. You know what I mean?
And that's fair. I'll give you that. Because I did say, like, you know, it was only against the Bulldogs. But then I said on the flip side, so if it was only against the Bulldogs, does that mean that everyone should do it against the Bulldogs, like the other big players like Ponga, you know, T-Turbo, RTS? What do you reckon, Rand?
Yeah, that's 100% correct. But they don't, and that's why Teddy is the best at the moment. But right. I do agree with you, Shannon. I think there isn't like daylight between him and the rest. Like, he didn't play against the Broncos. The Roosters still carved up 59-0. Like, take that as you will, either side of the argument. But I don't like take Roger Tuivasa-Sheck out of the Warriors. You might as well not even turn up.
Like, I just feel that there's so much that goes into an individual performance. There's so many factors that go into individual performance, I should say. Like, you know, the forwards have got to be going forward. The people have got to be doing this and that. Like, he's still hunting for his own work like everyone else does. But, you know, there are other dudes out there. I know RTS hasn't played well this season, you know, and Ponga hasn't really hit things off. T-Turbo's been good, you know, but I still feel like there's other factors that come into it. And I agree, he's the best player in the game. But like I said, I do not think there's daylight. Well,
then who do you think, for both of you, who's your second best? Because for me, it would be Tommy Turbo, because he's electrifying every time he touches the ball, and even on defence.
This season, 100%.
Would be like someone like Tom Malolo, maybe. Maybe because he's just carving.
Yeah, actually, I forgot to put him in the conversation.
Yeah. So what would that be your top three, or who else am I missing?
Definitely Tommy Turbo at the moment. He's just got such a good all-round game, and just does everything for Manly at the back there.
Because the Roosters, like before lockdown, weren't going that well, and they've come out with the new rules and they're on fire. But do you still feel that losing Mitchell, who is a freak, and losing Cooper Cronk, that when it comes to the game finals experience, they may struggle? Or do you think they're just that good?
I think we'll probably find out this weekend against Para. Like, they haven't really played anyone overly great this new sort of half-back season, or whatever you want to call it. So I guess we'll see this weekend when they come up against a top quality side in the Eels.
Yeah, no, that's a good question, Macca. That's a real good question. I think you've also got to add to that is that they're going for 3 in a row. When was the last time that happened? You know what I mean? So, they must be getting tired. But, yeah, that's huge, especially losing Cooper Cronk come playoff times. That's going to be huge. That's a real good question, actually.
Yeah. And flying off the back of that, they're playing the Eels this weekend. You said Ramsey. Eels are unbeaten. How good's that going to be, eh?
Where is it?
Oh, wow. They've been electrifying. Mitchell Moses is my favourite player at the moment. He is the man. the whole way he plays the game, it's so aggressive, and I love that from a half. It's awesome watching the Eels. Even when they're not playing well, they still they scored like 3 tries in like 7 minutes or something stupid. Waka, wasn't that Blake? Oh, that was mean to watch.
I was so dirty on them because I only get my $30 kitty a week for the betting. So I put like $15 on them, or so I don't know how. I had a multi or something, and then I seen they were down, and then I cashed out. Sorry, I had 2 multis on them, and then I cashed out both for like $6 and $4, and then I would have won like $80. I'm just
you cash out all the time,
bro. I need to go back to lockdown, because I am useless. I can't play fantasy and I can't bet.
Stick to your page, bro. Just stick to your page.
No, I've been getting grilled about that as well. Some guy came at me the other day calling me a moron. He was like, how do you even run a sports page? And I was like, well, hey. Yeah, my cousin.
Why did he call you a moron?
Oh, because the way I worded it, I just said about the penalties and that, and he said how they tried, the coaches wanted to make the game faster, and I didn't know what he was on about. I don't know if he was talking about league or rugby. But then the way it's happening with the ruck in the moment, they didn't change rules. They're just policing it more. They didn't all of a sudden say people aren't allowed to come in the side. That's been there for ages. But it's just getting policed more. That's why there's more penalties. But I understand how people are saying, like, it's just newly come in, players and that will come around with it. But the penalties were a bit ridiculous in the weekend, even though the product is new.
Yeah.
But might as well talk some rugby anyway. Landers, Chiefs, what a game to start the Super Rugby Aotearoa. How good.
Yeah, I've already said my apologies, bro. Already said my apologies. It was an awesome game. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Talk to Ramsey about it.
What do you reckon, though, Ramsey? Sorry.
I don't want to talk about it either, bro. But just, I don't know, get those Landers under that roof. They're a tough side to beat. They just stick in and they go the full 80. It doesn't matter who's coming at them. They've probably only got like 1, maybe 2 All Blacks in that squad, and they just bring it down there in the south.
And we lost.
Bro, that's not a good squad at all. It's not a good squad at all. How did they win their game? I remember watching it thinking, how are they in this game?
How? What did I say? And you grilled me. You're like, nah. I said they got to muscle up front. They got to bring a bit of 15, and that's exactly what they done. And here you are, like, bro, you're not selling yourself properly. 2 days later, 2 days later, 28-27, Landers.
I still don't know how they did it. I watched it. I still don't know how they did it.
We lost Ioane before kickoff. Well, that day. Yeah. We got 2 yellow cards. Bro, that's Highlander. That's ticker, cuz.
They won't win another game. I'm still not betting on them ever.
So I'm not doing plus this week for sure. We'll get that money back.
Nah, we've got to rest off after winning, mate. But we backed it up the next day, Sunday sesh, or afternoon rugby. How good! Sold out Eden Park, straight up. Like, I always go on about the Blues, but man, I just had this feeling like, when we got a crate, like, get on the beers, have a few spades, had burgers and chips for tea. It was on.
It was on. No, it was an awesome game too, bro. It was a good game. Lots of penalties, but I don't know what's happened, but these New Zealand derbies, they're just so much better than the rugby we were getting before, and it was and it was a day game. It just felt. It must be just the crowd there. It just made it feel good. It was a feel-good game. It was sort of taking it back to when we were kids, and you were like, "Oh, the rugby's on." You know what I mean? You sort of rush to go watch it. Now I don't really care as much, but if it's going to be more of that, bro, I'm all over it, eh?
Ramsey, Beauden Barrett's first game, all eyes on him. Hurricanes boys roughing him up and that. But, or Teddy Black, cuz, he stole the show for me.
He did indeed. I think Beauden did quite well to sort of let him steal the show as well. He didn't try to put his hand all over the game. He sort of just eased himself into it and let Teddy do his thing, and then he just sort of done his thing at the back, which was good to see.
Yeah. And then what about Satutu, bro? Like, you've said it before, he's putting his name in the All Black mix. Another storming game, bro. He just seems to be breaking that advantage like every single time, bro. Like, no matter what position they are in, if they're in the back foot going off like a scrum on their own 5, he's just still making meters, bro.
Yeah, bro. He can do it all. I think man of the match performance as well. Like you said, Marino too from the Landers put his hand up, but I think Hoskins is sort of your ready-made for the All Blacks in that number 8 jersey the way he is right now.
And so, let's just have a serious conversation here. Are the Blues serious contenders, Mr. Goldsmith?
Hand on heart. Then versus the Crusaders, mate. Fun.
Sam?
Unless the Chiefs can wake up, then yeah, they're definitely contenders.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But we can't write off the Crusaders because they haven't even had a game. So they fly up to the Hurricanes this weekend. I think what you'll find is, as much as this hurts me to say, the Highlanders are going to be really up for it. The Hurricanes are going to be really up for it. But they will beat teams this year because just the nature of the competition, backing up against New Zealand teams, there will be upsets. But you feel the Blues, the Crusaders, and the Chiefs are going to be fighting out. Injuries could come in factor.
Yeah.
But I feel like the Blues are just creating something special. Tuipulotu just signed to 2023. Harty, big fan of his. And then you got Barrett, of course. You got DC running waters. You got Tana Umaga running waters. Is it like the dream team or something?
How have we not talked about that? DC's back. He's back. Is he going to play? What's going on? Where are they going to play? First 5, second 5? What's going to happen?
Well, I heard that McDonald said he wasn't going to be playing first 5. So where do you put him? Fullback, 12?
Have to, don't you?
And Bodie on the field at the same time.
Yeah. So then, Ramsey, do you run 3 first 5s at once on the field, or is that too much? Or Teddy 10, DC 12, Barrett fullback?
Oh wow! Shannon, let's not get too excited, mate.
Oh wow!
Not get too excited, Shannon.
Mate.
Well, what I will say is Rico Ioane, I'm not his greatest fan, but he played bloody well. Probably did as much in that game as he had the last 2 years. Just unreal. Getting more ball. Looks a bit slimmer. Looks fitter. Looks good.
And then you can't, TJ Farani, he's been doing his job as well, in the 12. Yeah. And this is what the Blues need, man. They need competition in their team. And they need people fighting for spots because it's good. It's good for any side, man. No matter who you are, internal competition, and then it will make them a better team because, like I said, I'm going to refer back to the 2015 year when the Highlanders won the final. You only need a few superstars in certain areas, bro. And then you just need people to do their roles and, dog up each week, bro. You don't need a team of superstars to win the competition.
It's that old cliche, mate. It's that cliche saying, a champion team will always beat a team of champions.
And on that,
what was ironic about that is that came from Robbie Deans and Canterbury when they had just had 16 All Blacks.
yeah. But yeah, true.
I'll never forget though the time that there was the whole All Black team was 14 of the 15 players were Canterbury, and we nearly lost to Ireland, I think.
Nearly.
But anyway, boys. So we've talked a bit. We need to get a result of what your highlight of the weekend was. I'll kick her off. I put it on the page. Highlight of the weekend was seeing live crowds. Clint Austin, if you don't know him, Aussie on Sport, little shout out. He chucked up something quite funny, saying how these crowd noises at Eden Park are a bit weird. Little bit of a joke from the bro, but Goldsmith, what was your baby?
Yeah, you put me on the spot here, but seriously, for me, it's pretty hard to go past the Warriors win. Gus Gould came out and said that we'll probably only get 2 more wins from 14 games. And I think about the same too. So the highlight for me is Warriors scoring over 30 points. It was just it just made my weekend.
Yep. Sam Ramsey.
For me, I think it was definitely seeing the crowd there at Eden Park on that Sunday Arvo. I think it was the biggest Super Rugby crowd they've had at Eden Park in over 10 years. So I think just seeing just swarms of people in a social space was quite exciting, really. So definitely getting the footy on.
And then flying off the back of that, since these Zoom chats have been useless in the last few weeks, and we haven't actually recorded any. I don't know if we did this one in the Team Bro last week, but a little bit of a Noel Williams special. You know what's coming.
Oh my God.
Something you're grateful for, today, last week. Sam,
I don't know, bro. I guess I'm just grateful for you, man.
Cheers.
Just being you and giving us this platform here to just have regular catch-ups and chew a bit of fat about the sport. And just grateful for you, Shannon. Just keep what you're doing, mate. And good stuff.
I didn't pay him, by the way.
Me, what am I grateful for? I am grateful for, I guess, grassroots rugby league coming back. We've got we've got a bye first round, but I just can't wait to get back into it and just hanging around all the boys. It does something for your Whitehall, bro. You know what I mean? Seeing all the boys again, it's real good to catch up. So I can't wait to get out there and just get absolutely hammered. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I went to one of the rugby games before lockdown, and I got the old itchy feet, thinking the ripe age of 30, put the boots down a few years ago. Is it time Shannon Tuddy gets a bit of a 1-2 goosey whack bending your face guard?
Stop it.
I think we'll end on that, eh?
Nah, something I'm grateful for, though, is, I don't know, just this page, it's dope as. I love it. Some people love it, some people hate it, but it's all part and parcel of the job, and hopefully one day it might do something big and people might want to listen to us.
One day, bro, one day.
Nah, but too much, brothers. That was me.
Yeah, brother.
We pretty much whacked out 30, I think, but Chea, baby.
Chea.